What's good, everyone? Welcome back to a new video. Thank you so much for being here. I'm happy to be back sharing this video. As you saw by the title, I'm gonna be showing you how you can make your own DIY beauty supplements right at home with food, with drinks, with things that you can find at your supermarket, your health food store. And if you don't find those things there that we're gonna be talking about in this video, I'm gonna also leave links down below in the bottom bar. Make sure you check that out. The reason why I like to make my own DIY beauty supplements is because it really just enhances all the mineral content, all the vitamins that our skin, our hair, our nails really need. If you feel like these things are not thriving for you, if you feel like your hair's a little dull, your skin's breaking out, something we talk about a lot here on my channel, or if your nails are like breaking a lot too, just know that your body needs more nutrients, more vitamins, and these are all signs that you may not be getting exactly what you need. That's why it's so important to make sure that you're not only eating enough, but you're also supplementing with the things that you may be lacking. So by enhancing our nutritional content, we're gonna be caring for our hair, skin, and nails. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to do that in today's video. And just as a side note, this doesn't mean that I don't take other supplements, but if you're anything like me and you kind of want to narrow down how many supplements you're taking and you don't want to like overdo it with the pills and all of that and the capsules, this video is definitely going to be for you. I'm gonna stop talking. Let's get on to the video. So the first supplement we're gonna be making are these Collagen Energy Bites. I love these so much. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen me make them, talk about them, but the reason why these are so good for you is because one, they have collagen. Collagen is really important for helping you reduce fine lines and wrinkles. You guys know all about collagen, I'm sure, but the reason why also I love this is because it can also serve as a snack. So let's get on with how we can make it. So what you're gonna need are 2 cups of gluten-free rolled oats, 5 pitted dates, I like to soak the dates in water for about 5 minutes. This just makes them a little bit more blendable, I feel, and it really brings out the sweetness more. A handful of cashews, 2 scoops of collagen peptides powder, this is the one I like, a sprinkle of coconut flakes, the zest of 1 orange. This is very important because collagen and vitamin C should always go hand in hand, and that is because the amino acids in the collagen peptides really help enhance that collagen production when you pair it up with vitamin C. And the last ingredient is really optional. I like to sprinkle in some dried cherries just to add a little bit more sweetness. So just an FYI, when I started making these, I was using my blender. So you can use a blender with this. I actually just got this food processor specifically to make these energy bites, but you can use a blender. I was using my blender before and it works. It's just gonna leave you with bigger chunks. So when it comes to the order of putting this in your blender or in your food processor, you want to make sure that you put the dates in first. Everything else you can put in whatever order you want, but you really want the dates at the bottom so that they can just absorb all the other ingredients that you're putting in the blender or in your food processor. I've done this a couple times and I find that if I put the dates last, it just doesn't taste the same. And you also may want to add a little bit of water. I would say maybe like a tablespoon, just so everything can get like a little bit sticky and like hold together. So you just want to make sure that at least most of the food is broken down before you start rolling it into your little bites. You're gonna take it out, you're gonna start rolling it on your hands. If you find that it's not really forming, then you may want to add some water onto your hands. So form all your balls, put them in a little container and store it in the fridge for at least an hour or 2. That is what's gonna harden it up, because if you were just to take a bite out of it now, which you can, it still tastes good, but it's gonna be a little mushy. It's gonna have that mushy consistency. So I find that storing it in the fridge for a little bit really helps mold them. I have been making this probably about once a week now, which is why I went ahead and bought a food processor. I'm gonna link the one that I use. So worth it and not even expensive at all. Let me know if you tried this recipe out. At me on Instagram. I know you're gonna love it just as much as I do. The next supplement we're gonna be making are these vitamin D mushrooms. Now, I know a lot of us are deficient in vitamin D, you know, especially if, you know, the way your acne scars are set up, your hyperpigmentation, your melasma. We're not trying to get sunlight all in our skin, right? But that also means that we're lacking in vitamin D because we're not exposing ourselves to the sun a lot, and that can be for a whole different other reasons. You know, where we live plays a huge part. How we can fix this is by soaking mushrooms in sunlight, because they kind of work similar to us, where if we're exposed to sun, our skin makes vitamin D. Well, mushrooms, when they're exposed to sun, their flesh actually absorbs vitamin D, and it's actually known to be very bioavailable, meaning that if we eat them, our body can utilize it and take in that vitamin D, which is so helpful. So how you want to do it is, of course, you want to wash your mushrooms, take out all the dirt out of it, and then you want to chop it up and slice the mushrooms so that the gills, which is the bottom of the mushrooms, like these parts right here, it's facing the sun. This is what's going to help increase that vitamin D production. So you always want the gills to be facing that sunlight. I like to put it in a glass container and top it so that dirt or like bugs don't get on it. You're going to place your container full of mushrooms in any sunny part of your apartment or your house, any place where the sun is hitting it. Studies show that just 15 minutes of direct sunlight can produce 200 to 800 IUs in 3 ounces of mushrooms, so that is about this much. And the daily RDA of vitamin D is anywhere between 600 to 800 IUs. So if you enjoy eating mushrooms, I personally like eating it in the morning, in my breakfast. I cook it up, and what's interesting is that even cooking up the mushrooms, and you should always eat mushrooms cooked, don't ever eat mushrooms raw, you know, just in case. Even cooking the mushrooms, study shows that it still retains that vitamin D. So it's super powerful. It's a great way to increase your vitamin D intake without taking D3 supplements, without taking any supplements, and without exposing yourself to too much sunlight. I will say though, however, if you can expose yourself, or at least your arm or your leg, to a little bit of sunlight every single day, if you can, that's also helpful. But if you can't, these DIY mushrooms are gonna be so helpful for you. The next DIY recipe we're gonna be doing today is gonna be so helpful for your hair. So if you're somebody that has not seen a lot of hair growth, if you drink this every single day, I know that you're gonna see a lot of that hair benefits, skin benefits, stress benefits that all come with drinking this drink. And that is a nettle tea holy basil infusion. You probably saw me make it in this video right here. I'm just switching it up a bit. I'm adding some holy basil, which is an adaptogen. It really helps your body adapt to stress so that you can become more resilient to it, so that it's not weighing you down. And you know how much stress plays a big part on why we break out and why our hair isn't thriving like we want it to. And the nettle tea is really good for you because it really has high amount of nutrients, particularly vitamin A, various vitamin B vitamins, which if you are struggling with hair growth, skin health, you really want to make sure that you focus on eating more foods high in vitamin B. That is going to help you so much, especially also too with your stress levels. So what you're going to need is about 4 tablespoons of loose leaf nettle leaf and loose leaf holy basil. You can find this in your local health food store. You just want to make sure that you're getting the right source. You want to make sure it's organic and it's pure. I'm gonna leave the place that I order it from online. It's called Mountain Rose Herbs. It's where I get all of my herbs. They're trusted, they're organic, they're well sourced. I definitely recommend that you get a high quality herbs anytime you're dealing with herbs. So like I said, 4 tablespoons of each, and you're gonna put it in a glass container. Make sure it's glass and not plastic, because we're gonna be pouring in some hot water over that, and plastic and hot things, hot water, hotness from the sun does not mix. So make sure it's glass. So you're gonna pour in like all the way up to the top some hot water, and you don't want it to be super hot, but you do want it to be hot enough, because what the hot water does is that it really extracts all the nutrients, all the minerals, all the vitamins from these herbs, which is exactly what we want. This makes it so potent and so powerful. So pour your water to the top, and then you're just gonna, you know, give it like a upside down shake just to make sure that everything is spread out evenly. All the herbs are just getting absorbed by the water, and then you're gonna place this on your countertop, on your table, and you're gonna leave this overnight. Okay, so the next day you are gonna strain the herbs. So how I like to drink this is I always drink it with a little bit of honey, just because this is a very potent taste. And I love the fact that I could treat this as a digestive bitter. So if you don't like apple cider vinegar before your meals, you can also drink this, take a tablespoon and drink this as a digestive bitter, just to get your gut stimulated, so that when you do eat, you're increasing your chances of absorbing more nutrients in your food, because you're stimulating that stomach acid. So you can also take it like that. You can drink 1 full cup every single day, or how I started in the beginning, just so I can get used to the taste, I would break it up in little portions like this and drink it throughout the day. So I had like 1 full cup of this every single day. The main thing that you want is to be consistent, because just like with anything else, you're not gonna see results right away. You wanna make sure that you are consistent. I'm telling you, this drink is so good for your hair, your nails, your skin. It is one of the best beauty supplements that you can be taking, and it's also really good for liver detoxification and all of that. Definitely recommend that you add this into your routine. If you do, you know the deal. Let me know in the comments down below, or DM me on Instagram. I would love to hear your experience with it. The last supplement is the easiest one to make, and it's one that I mentioned again in this video right here, but I'm switching it up and I'm showing you that you can use this as a beauty supplement. And here's why. It is a tart cherry juice mocktail, and the reason why tart cherries are so powerful for your beauty is because it contains melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that prepares us for sleep, and a lot of our melatonin levels are off because this right here, okay, blue light, our phones, really prevents us from secreting the melatonin. And the reason why is because melatonin gets secreted when it's darkness, when the sun goes down, and we have so much light around us that it's really interfering with our sleep. So by drinking tart cherry juice 1 hour to 2 hours before bed every single day, studies show that it really helps regulate our sleep cycle, get that beauty sleep. Remember, this is how our cells regenerate, this is how our skin heals, this is how our hair grows. Everything that we need to see improve happens when we are sleeping. That's why it's so important to make sure that we're getting good sleep, and tart cherry juice can help you. I like to fill it up probably about halfway, and then I like to add a little bit of sparkling water onto this, just to make it a little bit more bubbly, a little bit more kind of like refreshing. But you don't need to add the sparkling water. You can drink this straight like that. I also like to kind of like dilute it a little bit, just so it could last longer, because let's be honest, sometimes this could get a little pricey if you're overdoing it, but I find that this can last me a full week. It's also very anti-inflammatory. This was according to a 2010 study. The results suggest that tart cherry juice has similar effects as insomnia medications like valerian or melatonin supplements. I feel like beauty sleep is so important and something we don't talk about a lot. Don't sleep on your beauty sleep, all right? And also don't sleep on tart cherry juice. It's so good for you, so rich in antioxidants as well, and melatonin. So why not? Everything that I talked about today, I'm gonna leave more info down below. Let me know if you try it. I'm definitely curious to see how you like these supplements. Remember, consistency is key here. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.